This is a worksheet on a couple of topics, finals day 4 worksheet. So the first one is distance formula. So just recall your guys' distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we'll just utilize this when we solve for these. So here we have the distance. Let's label our x1, y1 coordinate and our x2, y2 coordinate. So, follow formula, right? Equals the square root of x2, you guys, is negative 10 minus x1, which is negative 5. Second raised to all that to the second power plus y2, everybody, which is negative 3 minus y1, you guys, which is negative 4 squared. Now, negative 10 minus negative 5, everybody. So that's going to be negative 10 plus 5 to the second plus negative 3 minus negative 4, which is positive 4 squared. So we are going to have negative 5 squared plus 1 squared, which is going to be 25 plus 1, which equals square root of 26. Square root of 26, you guys, cannot be simplified further because if you guys did a prime factorization tree, it's just 2 and 13, no pairs, just leftovers. So this is going to be your guys' distance for that problem. Square root of 26. Now, let me drag this over. Distance formula for this one. So again, x1, y1, x2, y2. So x2 minus x1, you guys, is 6 minus 10 squared plus y2, which is 5, minus y1, you guys, 7 squared. 6 minus 10, you guys, is negative 4 to the second power. 5 minus 7, you guys, is negative 2. Raise that to the second power. So we have 16 plus 4, which equals square root of 20. Make a prime factorization tree. So 4 times 5, the 4 becomes 2 and 2. Pairs and the leftover. So we're gonna have 2 square root of 5. The pairs go on the outside, leftovers stay on the inside. So the distance between these 2 points is 2 rad 5. Okay. Now we have to find the 3 trigonometric ratios for each triangle. So, first order of business, we have to find this side length, everybody. So let's use Pythagorean theorem. 6 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. 24 plus 16 equals x squared. 40 equals x squared. We are going to square root both sides, so we're going to have x equals square root of 40. Simplify the square root, everybody, the square root of 40 by taking the prime factorization tree. So 4 and 10, 2 and 2, 5 and 2, pairs of 2 and 2. These over here, you guys, are leftovers. So the pair on the outside and the 5 times 2 leftovers on the inside, everybody. It's going to be 2 rad 10. So this is 2 rad 10. That's what this x value is. Here, let me put it somewhere else. So that side length, you guys, is 2 rad 10. So now let's make our trig ratios. So in the perspective of this angle measurement, this side is the furthest away, so this is the opposite side. This side is the closest to this angle measurement, so this is the adjacent side. And this side, you guys, the one across from the 90 degrees, that is the hypotenuse. So, sine of theta, everyone, is equal to opposite. Remember, SOHCAHTOA, everyone. Opposite. Alright, SOHCAHTOA down, so we have a reference. Opposite over hypotenuse, which is 2 rad 10. We can cancel off 2 from top and bottom, you guys, to get 2 over rad 10. Cosine theta, everybody, is adjacent over hypotenuse, so 6 over 2 rad 10, we can cancel and divide top and bottom by 2, you guys. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Cancel off 2, which just leaves rad 10. And lastly, you guys, tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. So 4 over 6. Cancel of 2 from top and bottom. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And here's our 3 trigonometric ratios. Okay, number 4. Again, we have to find the third side, everybody. So Pythagorean theorem. 2 squared plus 3 squared equals x squared. 4 plus 9 is equal to x squared. 13 is equal to x squared. Square root both sides, everybody. So x is equal to square root of 13. That's as simplified as it can get. You cannot simplify the square root of 13. So, in the perspective of this angle measurement, this side opposite, this side furthest away is the opposite, this side is adjacent, and this side is the hypotenuse. So, good old SOHCAHTOA, sine theta is equal to opposite over adjacent, so opposite over hypotenuse, so 3 over rad 13. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, so 2 over rad 13. And tangent theta, everybody, is opposite over adjacent, so 3 over 2. And there's your guys' 3 trigonometric ratios. Okay, now we're looking at number 5, and let me drag down my good old SOHCAHTOA so we have a reference. Okay, we need to find this third side. So, x 10 squared plus 2 squared equals x squared. 100 plus 4 is equal to x squared. 104 equals x squared. Square root both sides. So x is equal to square root of 104. So if we factor this, we can get 2 and 52. This will be 2 and 26. This will be 2 and 13. I see only 1 pairs of 2's, but then these are leftovers. So on the outside there's a 2, on the inside, you guys, is 2 times 13 for 2 square root of 26. So the side length, you guys, is 2 rad 26. Now we have everything we need. Now let's label what's the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. In the perspective of this angle measurement right here, this side furthest is the opposite, this side next to the angle measurement is the adjacent, and the side length opposite of the 90 degrees, or the diagonal, or the longest side, this is your guys' hypotenuse. So sine of theta is equal to opposite, use SOHCAHTOA, right? Opposite over hypotenuse, so that's 10 over 2 rad 26. You could divide top and bottom by 2 to get 5 over rad 26. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, so 2 over 2 rad 26. You could divide top and bottom by 2, 1 over rad 26. And lastly, tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent, so 10 over 2, which is equal to 5. And there's your guys' 3 trigonometric ratios for that one. Number 6, again, we gotta find the side length. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals x squared. Remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared for Pythagorean theorem. 36 plus 64 is equal to x squared. 100 equals x squared. Divide both, or square root both sides, and we get x is equal to 10. So this, you guys, is a value of 10. Okay, in the perspective of this angle measurement, this side furthest away is the opposite side. The side length right next to the angle measurement, you guys, is adjacent, and the one that's across from the 90 degrees, this is hypotenuse. Kind of looks like an A, so I'm gonna write meter. Okay. Sine theta is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So, 6 over 10. You can divide top and bottom by 2, which is 3 over 5. Cosine theta equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. 8 over 10. You guys can divide top and bottom by 2, which is 4/5. And lastly, tangent theta, you guys, is opposite over adjacent. The toe apart, right? 6 over 8. You guys can divide top and bottom by 2, and we got 3 over 4. And there's your guys' practice on trigonometric ratios. Okay, now let's go look at some review. Okay, so for these, you guys just gotta solve for x. So, subtract 3 to both sides. Negative 3 equals 3x. Remember, to solve for x, you gotta isolate x. So divide both by 3. X is ultimately gonna be -1. Okay, number 8. Again, solve for x. So to get rid of this second power, you guys, we're gonna square root both sides. 0 equals 7x minus 3. Add 3 to both sides. Divide both sides by 7. X is gonna equal to 3/7. Number 9. So we have to solve for x. So we gotta square root both sides, everyone, because we're trying to solve for x. So we got 4x plus 10 equals. Now remember, anytime you guys square root a variable to both sides, square rooting, you have to have plus or minus. Now, if you guys forgot how to solve for this, I'll do this down here. Square root of -9, everybody. Remember, take the negative out and it becomes an I, right? It becomes an I. Now the square root of 9, you guys, that's just going to be 3i. So we're going to get 4x plus 10 is equal to plus or minus 3i. Minus 10 to both sides, so we have 4x equals to -10 plus or minus 3i. Divide both by 4. X is ultimately going to equal to -10 plus or minus 3i all over 4. Okay, that's your guys' knowledge on how to simplify imaginary square roots. 10, same one, but except gotta solve for x, so x is going to equal to, you guys, remember when you square root both sides, you guys, you get plus or minus of a variable. So plus or minus the square root, you guys, of -25. Now remember, square root of -25, you guys, take out the negative sign by converting it to an I. And then the square root of 25, you guys, is just 5i. So this is really x is equal to plus or minus 5i, you guys. Okay? So just some review about solving for x. Okay, here we have synthetic division. Now, I know it's been a while for some of you guys, but here's some review. So what is dividing, you guys, is x plus 4. So you're going to make that -4 in the box, and then you guys write down all of the coefficients, remember? And this is where you guys do the little trick mama, right? Multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. So drop the 3 down, and you guys multiply. 3 times -4 is -12. You add 0. 0 times -4, you guys, is 0. Add -4. -4 times -4, you guys, is 16. Add 2. So, and now remember, if you guys forgot, since we had x to the third, all of these are 1 degree less. So x to the second, x, and constant. Now when you guys get this as a remainder, you have to put this remainder over the variable we were dividing by. So what do we have? 3x squared. We don't need to include 0x minus 4 plus 2 over x plus 4. So if it's a remainder, you guys gotta put it over what we are dividing by. This, you know, takes a little while, but this is something you guys have done in the past. So let's look at number 12. Okay, take the opposite of this, so x minus 1, it's going to be 1 in the box, you guys. Take the coefficients of each one, right? 3, negative 18, 1, negative 5, and negative 5. Drop the 3 down, and this is where you guys use the acronym of MAMA. Multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. 3 times 1 is 3. You add these, negative 15. Negative 15 times 1, negative 15. You add those, negative 14. Negative 14 times 1, negative 14. Add, negative 19. Negative 19 times 1, negative 19. You add, negative 24. So we have a remainder. So remember, look at our highest one, and then you guys go 1. You decrease the exponent by 1 for each one. So that's x to the third. This would mean x to the second. This is x. And that one's just negative 19. So our answer, you guys, is going to be 3x to the third minus 15x squared minus 14x minus 19 minus 24 over, since this is a remainder, put it over what we were dividing by, x minus 1. You also have notes on synthetic division as well. Okay, 13. Take the opposite of that number, so x plus 3, it's going to be negative 3. Coefficients of all of the numerator, 1, 10, negative 2. Drop the first one. Multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. 1 times negative 3, negative 3. 10 plus negative 3, 7. 7 times negative 3, negative 21. Add, negative 23. That's a remainder. And remember, we put 1 degree less than what we started with. So this is going to be x, because that's x to the first, which is 1 degree less than that, and then 1 degree for each one. So our answer, you guys, is going to be 1x, which is just x, plus 7 minus 23 over what we are dividing by, x plus 3. 14, last one for synthetic division. Opposite of this, you guys, is 2. Coefficients of the numerator, 1, negative 10, 4, negative 2. Drop the first one, you guys. 1 times 2 is 2. Add, negative 8. Negative 8 plus 2, negative 16. Add, negative 12. Negative 12 times 2, negative 24. Add, negative 26. So remember, this first leading one is 1 degree less than this one. So since we started with x to the third, now it's x squared, and then 1 degree less as you go across. So we have x squared, you guys, minus 8x minus 12 minus 26 over what we were dividing by, x minus 2. Okay, so that's how you guys did your guys' synthetic division, especially with a remainder. Last piece, evaluating the function. So when you guys evaluate this function, all you have to do is substitute this in for your guys' x function. So since this says x minus 2 now, everywhere we see an x, it now becomes x minus 2. Negative 5, in parentheses, x minus 2 squared minus 1. So if you guys forgot what x minus 2 looks like, x minus 2 squared is x minus 2 times x minus 2 minus 1. So we have to multiply and distribute. Negative 5 times x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 4 minus 1. Negative 5 times x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 1. Now we have to distribute this negative 5 to all. So we have negative 5x squared plus 20x minus 20 minus 1. Negative 5x squared plus 20x, negative 20 minus 1, you guys, is negative 21. So you guys just plug it in to the function, and then you guys solve. Okay, we have this function. Now we want f of x plus 1. So everywhere we see an x, I'm going to scooch this all over. So everywhere we see an x, it now becomes x plus 1. So f of x plus 1, substitute x plus 1 for everywhere we see an x, right? Distribute. 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2, combine like terms, 3x plus 5. So just substituting in functions into our, substituting our new function into the original function. Okay, here, we got 2x squared plus x minus 1, f of x plus 3, you guys. Yeah, we won't have it 2. We'll have it like this. Okay, so to solve for f of x plus 3, you guys, you plug in x plus 3 into the function of x. So everywhere we see an x now, you guys, there's now x plus 3. So x plus 3 squared plus x plus 3 minus 1. This x, you guys, became x plus 3. This x, you guys, became x plus 3. So x plus 3 squared, you guys, is x plus 3 times x plus 3. We have plus x. We can might as well combine those two, you guys. 3 minus 1, you guys, is just plus 2. But over here, we gotta distribute, you guys. So what do we have? X squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9 plus x plus 2. Combine like terms, x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus x is 7x. 9 plus 2 is plus 11. And there's our function for that one. 18, you guys are substituting in x minus 1 in for x. So f of x minus 1, you guys, everywhere we see an x, it is now x minus 1. Distribute. Negative 2 times x, you guys, negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 1, plus 2, minus 1. Negative 2x, 2 minus 1, you guys, is plus 1. And there's your guys' answer for those functions. So that concludes your guys' homework for finals day number 4.